Hi everyone. We're going to make a quick map today of the map of Canada, and we're going to have um, all of our major cities plotted out, plus all of the provinces and territories, and then we're going to learn how to layer a map and turn layers on and off. So the first thing you need to do is sign into your account. Yours will be using this login. I'm assuming you would have written down your username and password. If you're a student in the School Board of Niagara, you'd use the enterprise login. So once you get in, remember the first thing you land on is, excuse me, this landing page. And if you are looking for a map that you've already made, you would look in here, you'd click on content and go find it. But if you're starting a new map, just click on map. Once you get in, you will see that it's a pretty bland map, and we're actually going to work with even a more bland map than this today because we really don't need to see any of the features from the base map. So we're just going to switch this over to a light gray canvas. So things will really pop off the map if we add things. So the first thing we want to do is go find some layers that have information that we'd like to plot out on our map that have already been made. So to do that, we click on Add and search for layers. And once you get into here, it's going to automatically look into your account and see which layers you've already made. Well, more than likely you haven't made anything. So we would much rather go online and take a look at what's out there. So the first one we're going to find are the Canadian provinces. So I'm just going to type in Canada province, and the first hit that comes up, this provinces and territories of Canada, is the one that we want. Now, make sure you don't make a spelling mistake. If you make a spelling mistake, it's not going to come up. So I can just click on this little plus and it'll add that to my map. And you'll notice that it draws it immediately on the map. So it's pretty ugly right now. And what we want to do is we want to change this so that each province and territory has its own color. So if we click on details and then if we click on content, it shows us the name of the layer. So this is a layer of information. And when we hover over top of the name of the layer, you'll see this little circle, triangle, square thing. It's called change style. Click on it and it's going to allow you to change this so that instead of just showing the location, which every one has the same color, we're going to switch to the English name. And that means that each name will be given a unique color. So we can look at this and we can go, oh my goodness, I didn't want Ontario to be that color of green. I like something else. So what I can do is I can click on the options here and I can click on the little box for Ontario and I can switch it to a different color. So I've got this intense red color. There we go. So once I've done that, I need to make sure that I click OK. If I don't click OK and then done, it's not going to keep those changes. So I've now changed my map and I've got all of the provinces and territories labeled. All I have to do is click on it and it'll tell me what it is. So let's go find another layer. Click on Add, search for layers. And this time we're going to find Canada cities. Now there's a couple of good layers out here. There's this one, major Canadian cities, but we're going to pass by that one. And there's this one called Canada populated places. And if you add it, you're going to see your map is going to get pretty busy very quickly. So you're going to see that it plots every major community in there. So if you zoom in and look for your own personal community, you'll probably find it on here. But it's like finding a needle in a haystack because there's so many communities on this map. So what we want to do is change this map so that it's going to show us just the major cities. So we're going to do this thing called filtering. So if you hover over top of the name of the layer and you click on filter, you can see that it gives us some options here. Basically, what is it that we want to filter for? Well, we want it to be a major city. And if it's a major city, it's going to have the value of 1. If it's not a major city, it's going to be a 0. So only those that have the number 1 listed for major city will be displayed. So when I do that and I click apply filter, you'll see that now I've got far fewer things. And I can see all of our major communities. So if you're living in London, there's good old London. Now the symbol for that is pretty dull. So let's go find a different kind of symbol. So I go back to hovering over top of this layer and click on change style. And now I can click on options. And you see the symbols here? Let's change it to something else. Go find something either in the shapes, or you can use people and places, for instance. Maybe there's something in here you really like. But you want to make sure that once you've selected it, it's going to be able to be easily seen on the map. Otherwise, it could just sort of fall into the background and you don't see it very well. So I'm just going to go back to shapes here and pick a star. I can also adjust the size of the symbol. So there we are. And now they're far more obvious to see. Now, let's take a look at the different landforms of Canada. Canada has a very diverse landscape, and some areas are mountainous, some areas are flat, so on. So let's go find a layer called, we're going to search for Canada landform, but once again, it's got a completely different name. It's called Canada's physiographic regions. So that's the layer we want. We're going to add it. And what you're going to see is it completely covers everything up. So one of the things we can do in ArcGIS is turn layers on and off. So for instance, if I uncheck this layer, you'll notice that my other layers now can be seen. So if I just want to look at the physiographic regions, I'd probably turn off the other layers and then turn on the physiographic regions. Now, if you click on these, you're going to see the names of each one of these regions. We've got flat areas, which are plains, and lowlands. This should be labeled as a lowland. And this is a lowland. And then we've got mountainous areas, which are Cordillera or the Appalachians. So what we can do is we can make a particular landform sort of pop off the map and make it much easier to see. So what we're going to do is filter once again. In this case, we're going to click on physiographic regions, click on the filter, and we just want the Canadian Shield to be highlighted. So if the name is Canadian Shield, then it's going to display it. So let's click on apply filter. And now you'll just see the Canadian Shield being displayed. All right, that's all for today.